Hi, my name's Nabs. A lot of you know me as Ghulam from the Crepe City basement and other Facebook pages. I'm 24 years old. I'm a menswear fashion buyer, and I've been collecting shoes for about, I'd say, 10 years. Yeah. For me, it kind of started when I was a lot younger in school. I had a lot of older kind of friends and cousins who used to go out on daily with, and they were all into kind of Nike footwear. At the time, silhouettes didn't mean anything. I didn't know what a Max 1 was, I didn't know what a Max 90 was, etc, etc. There was just anything with an air bubble and a swoosh you kind of recognised to be a Nike shoe. And that's how I kind of always wanted to grow into them. I wanted to kind of get my own pair, and used to pester my mum, and all I'd get was like LA gear flashing shoes that I used to wear to school. But as I grew older, got a job, as you all do, and kind of tried to acquire what you always wanted. So I had my first job when I was 14, like 14 going on 15. I used to work in Next as a stockroom boy. So I kind of went from there and started getting a bit of change and a bit of pocket money, and you having a responsibility. So everything I used to buy I used to just finish work on payday, walk around the corner, go to either Foot Locker or Size on Market Street in Manchester, just buy a pair of two shoes, and then that was it. It just whatever I could find at the time caught my attention. I didn't care. Obviously, I had to like them, but I didn't care how limited it was. I mean, knowledge wasn't even around for me then in those days. So I just bought whatever I felt like, and then as I grew older, you learn a bit more. You start looking at more shoes from like around the world. You start getting involved with like things like the Crooked Tongues forums. You notice that stateside there's a lot of hyper-owned shoes. Jordans were quite big at the time, Air Force Ones, etc, etc. And you start looking on things like Flight Club. Bought my first Sneaker Freaker magazine when I was quite young, and just kind of went on from there. And one day I was sitting in graphic design, and I was just bored looking at shoes, as you always do. And some of the mates that were there with me, I was showing them the highest priced shoe on Flight Club at the time, and I think at that specific one time it was the Mr. Cartoon Air Force One that I think was 100 pairs of. They did it. It was in America for the store opening. Like, came with an Undefeated T-shirt, some signed posters, all that. It was like, I think it was $2,100 at the time. So that was the dream, kind of just chasing something that's really expensive, and you kind of then realise that all these collecting that you've been doing over time, how much it becomes worth, like, and what the real value is behind it. So I accidentally, my teacher caught onto what I was doing, and she told me off, and then she goes, "I'm sure I've seen them shoes somewhere." And I was like, "Okay, where have you seen them?" And she goes, "I'm sure my boyfriend's got a pair." So anyway, long story short, she come back at the next lesson. She pulled me to one side after class, and she goes, "Yeah, my boyfriend's got a pair, blah blah blah." I said, "How did he get them?" Apparently he was, at the time, he was accidentally in America, and he used to, I don't know if he was a blogger or not a blogger, but like he used to work for a magazine or something like that, and he got asked to kind of photograph the event and do like a recap on it. So he luckily got a pair with the signed posters, the T-shirt, the shoes, and turns out he was about to sell them. So me being me, said, "Right, okay, well, what size are they?" They're my size. So I said, "Right, okay, can you ask him how much he's willing to let them go for?" So she goes, "Okay, why don't you come round like next week after class on a weekend, or after class on a weekend, and you can have a chat to him." Went down, spoke to the fella, and I was just like, "So okay, long story short, what's the deal?" He goes, "Well, I've got the T-shirt, I've got two signed posters that are like $600 each. He goes, I've got the shoes, original box." He goes, "I've got the receipt, everything." He goes, "You know, it's a big part of my life to now sell on." So I was thinking, shit, they're on $2,100 on Flight Club. This guy's gonna charge an arm and a leg. I had like 200 quid in my pocket at the time. And anyway, so I've gone, "Well, you know, mate, I'm a big collector." Well, whatever collecting was back then. And I said, "So can we work something out?" And he's like, don't know if I want to sell them. In the end, I just said, look mate, just tell me a price, or it's killing me, do you know what I mean? If I can afford it, I'll buy it, if not, I'll just say no. And in the end, he just went, well, I spoke to Rachel about it, who was my teacher at the time. She goes, how about £100? So I just went, I'll take them off you right now, mate. I said, you can keep the posters, you can keep the t-shirt, I'll just take the shoes. So this is, I'd say, this is what started it for me. So it's the original web toe box. And I've had them for quite a long time now. I think about 6 years, 7 years. Never worn. It's not something that obviously, personally, me being short as hell, it looks like I'm wearing a big strip of platform when I'm walking around them. So Air Force Ones ain't really the ones for me. But I love the shoe. At the time, it was something that I'd only dreamt of kind of being able to hold one day, or even see, because obviously it was only 100 pairs in the world. It's the most expensive trainer that I've ever come across, blah blah blah. But then for somehow in the middle of Salford to find one man to have a pair and for it to be in my size, I just thought, wow. And then from there, so all the passion just started, and I think that really kickstarted the kind of the trigger in my head to think, well, what you're doing, there's some value in it. So then I started to appreciate my shoes a little bit more, started to look after them a little bit more, and that's when the obsession truly started. For me, the main reason why I collect was the way it made me feel. I was a bit of a hoarder at the time, still am. If I get myself involved in something, I always commit to it. I always kind of look forward to spending time on that one. It's a distraction. It's something that breaks you away from your working life and what you normally do and all the tension, all the stresses. There's nothing better than ordering something, waiting for it to arrive, and then just appreciating it when you've got it in your hand. And it's the same thing with, I suppose, anything. Like when you let's say you're going out with your family or something, or it's someone's birthday coming up, you're going on holiday, you look forward to it. It's the build up. You enjoy it while you're there, and the climaxes, and then you appreciate it. It's something that you'll never forget. And it's the same. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but it's always been the same for shoes and other things that I collect. It's just it's a memory. Like, I know there's some shoes in here that they represent a certain time in my life where it was something to look forward to, or something happened at the time. Like, I've got shoes where, like for example, the Yeezy ones, when I went down to London and camped for 48 hours at a time, first Saturday of every month, 3 months on the trot, and I missed a college exam for that. I had to lie, had to skive, went down, met some amazing people. We played football underneath the arches of Bateman's Row. It's just things that you can never recreate those scenes, like, especially today. I think that's why I value it more now. But it was the kind of the passion that people had and the kind of buzz that was around it at the time. I mean, it was just people who were there purely to buy a shoe because they liked it, and they kept that going. And I think over the years I met some amazing people, some people that I then didn't get a chance to speak to until like last year. We got in touch again with one another and started to kind of pick up on things that we missed out over the years. And now I see every time I go to London, I'll meet up with them and we'll go for a coffee or a meal. And I think it's great that people who are still doing it then are still into it now. It just shows that passion's always there. I think the main reason was to kind of continue to do it. Well, the reason why I continued to kind of collect over the years, or what it stands for me, is I want to let people know, or I want to share with people that it's just because you collect it doesn't make you a saddo, or you spend money on it, or you chat about it 24/7 with your mates. It doesn't make you any less of a man than anyone else. It just shows you're passionate about something. And no matter what you do, you can always make a difference with the things that you're passionate about. Like for me, it was like last year when my mum said to me, why don't you give some shoes away to charity, or sell some and give the money to charity? So I thought, well, I've not exactly got the balls to do that, get rid of my collection, but I thought, okay, how can we do it? So we put together I don't know if anyone remembers, but it was the Air Max 1 Palestine auction that we did. So I got in touch with, put a little post up on Instagram, asked what people's sizes were. I think I got 85 comments of people that never would even like a picture, and just rolled on from there. Got in touch, decided on what shoe I wanted to do. Got in touch with Matty Cole. Got in touch with Alex from Ropes, and the ball started rolling. Before you knew it, I mean, so many people, I think 20, 30 people got involved just on the back of it. And it was nothing to do with, oh, come here, look at what we're doing. It was more the fact that people appreciated that it's not always about just kind of doing something to stunt, to show, or you're not doing it because you're better than anyone else. It's just because you enjoy it. And I think the people that really got involved really appreciated what was happening and what it stood for. And I think they kind of felt as well that it was heading back to sorry, it was heading back to like what the reasons why they probably got in the first place, about the passion and everything. And in the end, mate, it was a very successful auction. I'd love to do something like that again. It's just now, obviously life's got a bit more busier, so it's finding the time, because I want to do something that's better than the last time. I want to raise more money, I want to get more people involved. It's just then how you do that. But it was fantastic. I mean, I couldn't have done it with, even if one person didn't get involved, it wouldn't have that final outcome. It was a joint effort from everyone who got involved, people who reposted, people who donated. It was just, that's what the community is about. And no matter what you think about, like, oh, there's people that buy and resell and just there to make money, or there to stunt. I mean, you gotta look beneath all that, because there's people that are still there for what collecting is really about and what footwear. They have that passion, and knowing that just makes me think, right, okay, well, for them people, for myself, I shouldn't have stopped, because it's still there. The people that were there all them years ago, they might be older now, they might not buy as much, you might not see as much of them, but they're still there, and they will always kind of carry on collecting and sharing that passion with you. So that's why I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon. So 3 favourite pairs, in no particular order. I'm going to start with everyone's most hyped shoe. Well, one of the most. It's the Air Max 1 Pata Para. I was lucky enough to acquire this in recent years. Didn't pay ridiculous amounts for it. And the reason I love it is nothing to do with Pata or Para. It's simply the cherrywood colourway, which I absolutely adore. And I love the mix of materials on the shoe. So the chenille, which I'm a major fan of, and I love like the satin lining. The detail of it, I think, was amazing as well. The shape was amazing, and okay, the fact that it's a bit more limited made it a little bit more special to finally get your hands on. But I just think the shoe overall was great. At the time when it released, it was hard for me. I couldn't afford to go down to London to 1948 and try to grab them again. I'd just been down for the Yeezys, so 3 months worth of expenses to go and get another pair was a little bit hard. So in the end, I settled, but I was lucky enough to get them dead stock. So yeah, that's number 1, I'd say. Well, one of the top 3. Number 2 would be the Atmos Elephants. Same reason again. It's nothing to actually do with Atmos. It's more to do with the shoe itself, the materials used, and the shape of it. I mean, the leather on this is like one of the softest leathers I've felt on a shoe in today's world. Anyway, I mean, you pick up a shoe now and the leather's like, it's like a old man's heel. It's so hard and it just cracks. But this is amazing. I mean, it's still soft now all these years later. I love the patent swoosh, jade. I love the colourway, the suede, the elephant print. It just had it all. It was that shoe at the time which stood out, and it was a little bit more special. I mean, I think some people even said that these hit sale racks in size when they dropped. And I've got the receipt upstairs for these, and I think they're like 79 quid or something like that. The guy even got a staff discount on them. But yeah, I love these. I've managed to get 2 pairs now. One's which I absolutely destroyed, which needs to get restored. But yeah, it's an all-round amazing classic shoe, and I think it's timeless. I think you'll see this go, you'll see it come. But ultimately, I just think it was amazing. It was an amazing shoe when it came out. A bit like how the Tiffany Dunk was for some people when that came out. It was something fresh, something people would find a bit boisterous to wear, a bit loud, but nah, love them. And the third pair for me would be the Max 90 Current Huaraches, the DQM Bacons, part of the East versus West pack, I think it was. I was lucky enough to get these in store when they came out. I walked in, actually it was the same time when the chlorophylls and the grapes dropped, so I went into size that morning in Manchester. These were there, the Huffquakes were there. I really like the colour in these, picked these up, tried them on first, bought these. Then I was speaking to one of the members of staff in size at the time. He had a pair of both the chloros and the grapes on hold that ran. And he goes, oh, just when you go around there, just let them know I don't want them. He goes, I just decided against it. So went round, still full size range available. I bought a pair of chloros and grapes, and that was it. I told him, oh yeah, the lad from size doesn't want us anymore. Okay, no worries, and that was it. I think they sat for about 3 days. But nowadays that's hard to come off. Anyway, back to this shoe. The reason why I like this is simply the colours used again. I just think that these were something different at the time. The whole pack, both the pack, the East and the West pack, so the Huffquakes and the Bacons, both very loud. It was, you never see someone wearing a loud shoe at the time. Obviously it was maybe a Jordan or something like that, but generally speaking everything was a bit more toned down. With these I loved it because the fact that they used thin slit in the line, which made them super comfy, hug your feet really nicely. The current sole, or the free sole on it, made them even more comfier. I just think they wore really nice. This is like one of the newer pairs I've got, which are still in good condition, but my Beat pair, like, it's amazing how they've picked up dirt and how the suede has gone from like a dark brown to like a light brown or black in some places. The mesh is like dirty, and I just, all around it just shows history. It shows how you wear a shoe, and it's not everything has to be prim and proper. Obviously now the only reason you buy it is not to keep, it's just you want a replacement for the pair that you've beat up. So that's why. But yeah, I'd say this is one of my favourite threes as well. That's a bit of a tough question that you've asked me there. Partly because I know that I've got some worn pairs which I'd probably give burn or whatever before I do any of these. But since you've asked the question, I think I'd give these away, simply because I know they mean a lot more to someone, or it would mean a lot to someone if they were to get this shoe. And I'd be very selective about who I'd give it to, because I know there's some amazing people out there who I've met over the years and they've never been able to acquire it. But I know if something like this came and like they would manage to get their hands on these, they'd really appreciate it and value them for what they are, without any of the hype around it, or, you know what I mean? They'd wear it because they actually appreciate it and want it, not because it's popular and people are being stupid money. So I'd give them away. Can you not change the questions, Tom? What was it? Burn and I can't remember the last one, was it? Give away then. Rock. Right. So Rock Forever would be them. Mainly because I just think that you can wear them with anything. I'd happy to turn up someone's wedding and wearing one a pair of these. Not really fussed. What do you think? Black suit. I think it'd pop up quite nicely. J tie. Yeah. I'd rock them definitely. And I'd burn these. I know they're my favourite, but bacon's no good for me. It's not halal, so I'd burn them. If there was a fire, I would surely and swiftly run to these, simply because if I sit on them for about another 15 years, I'm sure I can become a millionaire. So yeah, I'd run for these. The Roche LDs, they're fragment ones. It doesn't really have to be a fragment, I just have these, so I picked them up. I think it'd have to be a black colourway. I just think with these, they're just super comfy, super durable. I mean, I can walk in these all day without a problem. I think the simple colourway makes it just go with almost anything. Night or day, you'd get away with it. The versatile. They're quite hard wearing as well. I've put these for quite a lot and they still look pretty good. So yeah, if I had to wear a shoe for a whole year, give me these bad boys. These horror stories slash grails slash beauties. Don't know if many of you remember it. It's the Nike Air Mock. I don't even know what years these were released. There's even say on the inside. I had a quick look earlier on. I just like the simplicity of them. When they came out, I liked them then. I had a few pairs over the years. Didn't really appreciate them. Threw them away or gave them to charity, and I managed to get these on Eebs for quite a steal. So picked them up. It was just something that I always wanted to get back in, and with winter coming, probably protect them with some liquid proof or something, and I think they'd be perfect. There's a pair of winter beaters and look great. Look very hard wearing, ACG as well, so hopefully they still got some properties of the ACG. But yeah, something a bit different. But yeah, it's my latest pickup. Easily the favourite brand of shoe for me would be Nike's, especially Air Max 1, Air Max 87. Just got a weird shaped foot, feel perfect, always liked them, easy as that. Favourite brand, Nike. My dream collab has always been the likes of any footwear brand collaborating with Stone Island. I know DM have done it in the past. They've always supported the inline kind of footwear for Stone Island, but I wanted someone to kind of really use Stone Island's what they're famous for, so like the fabrications, the dye-on processes, and I loved all that. I think I find it really magical, obviously being a buyer and having the opportunities to go out and buy Stone Island. It kind of makes you appreciate what the brand actually is. I mean, I've been into it for numerous years now, since I was a teenager, and like some of the processes they use on the fabrics, any special fabric is developed and manufactured by themselves, only handled in their factories. Same with the dyes, and I won't go too much detail, but it is special. And for me, it was a dream collab was Stone Island with a footwear brand, and one of my top footwear brands I do like, obviously New Balance. They did a little collaboration, which I managed to get a pair of, luckily. So that was my dream collab for it to happen. I mean, they used their actual own reflective material on the back. It's like crushed glass particles, was amazing. Well, anyway, that's my favourite dream collab. It happened. I'd also like to see it happen again, maybe with another one of my top brands, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. An essential shoe for me, which I think you should be able to kind of wear on multiple occasions with whatever you want. Not really turn too much of an eyelid to say, oh well, he's not too formal or not too casual, or he's wearing a trainer or he's wearing a sneaker. I think it would have to be the German army trainer, which obviously Margiela are famous for, or what they call the replica trainer. Maybe not in this colourway as such, but I just think you can wear it anywhere, you can wear it with anything. No matter what age you are, it'll always be accepted. I've seen kids, well not kids, but youth probably in their teens wearing them. I've seen old men in fashion weeks in Paris wearing them, and they're like 50, 60, and it still looks just as cool. So I think if you were to have an essential in your collection, for me it'd be the German army trainer, but I think something along these lines would be good to have. Overrated pair would seem a bit contradictory, but it'd have to be Yeezys. I know you're probably thinking, you hypocrite, but it's not. There's loads of Yeezys out there that people like and dislike or wear and may not wear, but for me it'd be the Yeezy 2, especially the Red Octobers. I just didn't get what it was all about. the whole Yeezy 2 thing, I mean, where did the hieroglyphs come from? Did Kanye somehow go back in time? I mean, look, I love Kanye. I love his music. So I followed him from day one. I spent a lot of time trying to acquire, and I did acquire the first one, so I am into him. I am into his footwear. But the second ones, they were just... I didn't get what it was about. I think he just kind of... I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. All I know is when they came out, I just thought, what the fuck is this guy doing? Sorry, apologies for swearing. I didn't like mainly it was the hieroglyphs. I didn't like the gold laces. I didn't see what it was all about, what the hype was. But I think at that time, he moved on from being a normal human to being like Super Saiyan God or whatever he was at the time. So he was on his way to defeat Frieza, and he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna create a new shoe with a move on, and nah, it wasn't for me. I didn't waste any time trying to acquire them. I didn't give them any time of day. The coolest thing to come out of it was them slippers that people are picking up from Japan. But apart from that, I think that's too overrated for me. They're not worth the money. They're not worth the time. Yeah, that's my overrated pair. And my underrated pair, I think, was a bit ahead of its time. In recent times, everyone's been raving and ranting about triple black. And for me, the underrated pair would be the Black Cat 4s from 2005. I bought this shoe and I've loved it ever since. I wore them quite a lot and I thought they were quite beat. I've cleaned them up a little bit and they're still hard wearing. The bubbles are still in solid shape, there's no loss of pressure. The fact that you even get a poster with the shoe, I think all these things made the shoe for what it was. It says Black Cat on the heel tab. I mean, quality was good, still is good. It's still relevant now. I think Jordan's had a little surge back, and I don't know why, in the inflation of all shoes, why this didn't get any recognition, because I honestly think it is a timeless shoe, which I will definitely have in my collection for many, many years to come, and I just think it's definitely underrated. I think it's classic. Crepe City for me is one of the original kind of sneaker conventions, which obviously was going on in London at the time, way before there was a blow up of kind of Instagram and Twitter, etc., etc. I actually found out through camping for a shoe down in London, and one of the friends that I made over the years, he kind of said, "Oh, Crepe City's on in a few weeks. You're gonna come down?" I was like, "Well, what's Crepe City? I've never heard of it." And he introduced me to it. I went down with him. It was great. The next time I went down with a few people from the north, and I think it's just it means a lot to me in terms of it gives me kind of a feeling of belonging. The fact that there's other people out there who do it for the same reasons as you, although you never would think it. It's kind of opened up my eyes, and I'm sure it's introduced a lot of people to one another. You've made new friendships which you would have made outside of not knowing anyone from Crepe City. Like for me, it's almost living two different lives. You have your friends who are like your working friends, the friends that you've grown up with, and then you've got your other friends which are simply just to do sneakers, who are now part of your everyday life, and you chat to them on a daily, you hang out, but it's a whole different mentality. I never would have thought back then that I'd find people or be in touch with people for over X amount of years just simply through footwear. And I think from that it sparked a push around the UK for people to kind of now say, yeah, we collect shoes, what's so weird about it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's like sneaker festivals, should we call it, around the UK. There's one in Manchester, there's Liverpool, Birmingham, they've done one successfully in Scotland now, and I think it's amazing. I think it's really good to meet new people, and it's good to kind of be part of it, yeah. To know that you've made a contribution towards something that is based around as weird as it is, footwear. So yeah, Crepe City. You got really soft hands, Tom. I noticed that. Okay. Well, that's an A6. Feels weird. Yeah, it has a vagina, so it's Gel-Lite 3. It's got flats, no rope, so it's not going to be one of Mr. Ronnie's finest. Tough on this. Mesh and suede. Got no idea what colourway it could be, but you were talking about the Koi's earlier on, so I'm going to say a Koi Gel-Lite 3. New Balance, and a 996. It's got the absorb sole anyway. I noticed that straight away. I feel that around the back. What could it be? 996? Is it 997? It's 996, isn't it? Nah, not very good at Braille. Say, I don't know. What? How does this even work? How can you actually expect anyone to know the colour? It's dark green. What is going on? The neighbours are probably looking through the kitchen going, what the fuck are these two knobheads? Oh my god. Right, okay, back to the point. Oh shit, this would be a very awkward time if Mum walked in. That's not what it looks like! Okay, I'm gonna go with New Balance 996 or 997, what was it, 998, I can't remember. But it's definitely, I know the shape. It's, stop laughing! It's the shape that the Tassie Devil is. I know that, and I'm just gonna say it's a Tassie Devil because it feels very similar to. I don't go around feeling my shoes up, but it does feel quite similar to that. So yeah, Tassie Devil 99876, whatever it is. It just came from heaven. Oh, this one's thrown me a little bit. Reebok Classic? No, Reebok Workout. Yeah, Reebok Workout. Got mixed up there. Again, I don't know. Maybe you should give like A, B or C. Oh, these could possibly be the colourways. I should have looked at your Instagram and like prepared for an exam. I'm gonna say it's part of the size pack, the pastels. I don't know if it's gonna be the purple or the green. I know you said you're a loud person, Tom, but they're both quite loud, so I'm gonna say they are the green ones. So yeah, is that it? Is there one more? There's one more. Air Max 1. Is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Got excited with myself there. It's a 90. It's not even a 90. It's a Air Max Light. Is it an Air Max Light? It's an Air Max Light. I'm gonna go with Air Max Light. That little ridge around the back. It feels familiar. Talk to me. What are you? I'm gonna say that it's part of the size pack again because they were quite nice. I quite liked them, and they're a little bit loud. It's the mauve colour. Well, it's not exactly a mauve colour, but it's the sandy colour size ones. I think with the orange and blue. I think was that the colour when it came out? Well, it's the Air Max. It's the Air Max Light size exclusive sand orange, blue, purple, whatever. Yeah, Air Max Lights anyway.